welcome to my yoga practice. Today we're going to work a little bit on stability and balance. So what you need for balance, you need a good core. You need to work on your abdominal muscles. So this natural core set is what we're going to work on today. Let's go. We're going to start sitting down at the far end of our mat, bending the knees, bringing the feet hip width apart, and we're going to use a mudra. A mudra is a gesture. We're going to use this one. It's called Adi mudra. Adi meaning first. You bring the thumb over to the palm of your hand and you clasp the thumb with your four fingers like this. And we're going to lower the knees to the left and to the right, but make sure you're not really pressing down with your feet on the mat, so you use as little support as you can. And this way we're going to move all the way to the front of the mat. And you will see by doing this what it takes. It takes for the cat to go out of the way. It takes strong core muscles, otherwise you won't move to the front. Let's move back and do this one more time. So remember, only lightly touch down with the toes. And keep breathing, of course. This is just a little warm-up to see how strong your abdominal muscles are. And there we go. Good. We're going to move to the middle of the mat. And slowly lower our torso down. Take it easy, vertebra by vertebra. Unwinding. And then hugging in the knees. Holding your knees, both hands. And on the next exhalation, we're going to bring the head, the forehead to the knees. And the next inhalation, we're going to lower the feet, bring the arms down, palms facing down, and sending those hips high. Exhalating, we're going to do the same. Bring the head to the knees. Inhale, bring up those hips. So it's a little flow. Exhale, nose to knee. Inhale, hips to the ceiling. Let's do 3 more. More. And the last one. And we're going to bring the knees back to the chest again. You can cross the ankles, and we do a few yoga crunches here. So you can have your hands underneath the neck, interlace the fingers, support your neck. And here we go. On the exhale, bringing the head to the knees, and then we go to the left. So right elbow is almost touching the left knee, left elbow touching the right knee. The one in the middle, and to the left. Middle, and to the right, vice versa. And keep breathing, of course, always breathing in as you go down, breathing out as you move up. Okay, the last 2. And relax. You have your ankles crossed, so you take one big toe in one hand, the other big toe in the other hand. And we're just going to rock up and down. Take your time just to give your spine a little warm up here until you come sitting again. Immediately we have our core warmed up. We're going to go into half boat pose. So what you want to pay attention to here, what you want to work on, is opening the shoulders, opening the chest. So you bring the shoulder blades together on your back. Keep breathing, 5 breaths. Try to bring the lower legs parallel to the mat. And then on the next exhalation, bring the feet to the mat and stretch out completely. Bring the arms overhead, interlacing the fingers, turning the palms inside out. Good stretch. We're not done yet, because we're going to go for one more. Crossing the ankles, hugging the knees in. And again. Here we go. For those who like to try this one, immediately you can go into boat pose, full boat pose. Here we go. Yeah, good. Okay, a few more breaths. Open the chest and relax. Okay. Let's move to the side and come up again. I have company on my yoga mat here. We're going to go on all fours. On your hands and the knees, and try to stack your hands, your wrists below the shoulders and the knees below the hips, so your perfect square pose. Good. Okay, we're going to extend the right arm to the front and keep looking down. You don't change anything, don't look up, and extend the left leg out, flexing the toes here. And keep that perfect square. Keep breathing. 3 breaths here. And on the next exhalation, hand down, knee down. We do exactly the same on the other side. Stretching out the left arm and the right leg. Keep squaring the hips. Don't sink into one side. And more deep breath here. And hand down, knee down. We're going to do both sides one more time, and we're going to do a little extra here. So this time, right hand to the front, left leg out. We're going to bring the right arm all the way around, bend the left leg, and try to find your foot. Press the top of the left foot into the right hand, and square the shoulders again, looking to the front or looking down. If you have a painful neck or any neck issues, you can better look down. And slowly lower the right hand and the left knee. We're going to do the same on the other side. Stretching out. Bring the left hand over to the other side, bending the right leg, finding your foot, pressing the top of the foot into your hand, squaring the shoulders to the front, and release. Slowly lower back into a child pose. At least 5 long breaths here before we go to the standing asana sequence. And gently bring yourself up to thunderbolt pose. Now I have a problem here. Let me see if I can incorporate the cat in my next pose.
Cat cow. Cat cow.
Now we're going to go for a downward facing dog. So how do you measure a perfect downward facing dog? You stretch out in balasana, drawing in the extra space on the mat with your arms, with your hands, gluing the hands, separating the fingers, pressing into the mat, and then you come down on to the knees, tucking the toes under, and here we are. Downward facing dog. Ah, there he goes. We're gonna walk the dog, just lubricate our joints, getting some of the cracking out of the way, and then we're gonna start walking the dog. By which I mean you're going to take little baby steps, walking your feet closer to your hands. Take your time. The longer it takes, the better. It's going to ease into Uttanasana, the forward fold. So walk your feet roughly in between your hands. Now, if you're not very flexible, this might already be a challenge, but if you want to take it a step further, you can stand on your hands. So you bring the tops of the hands down and you press onto the palms and even against your wrists. And you can just kind of give yourself a little massage here by pressing against the wrists alternately. And by doing this, you'll find a beautiful stretch of the shoulder blades and the upper back. And then we're going to release, take out the hands again. With the right hand, you want to clasp the left ankle, and then we're going to raise that left arm all the way up, opening the chest to the left, looking up at your thumb if you can. Breathing in deeply. 3 breaths. And then lower that hand. We're going to go to the other side. Why do we do this? It's just a little challenge to see how your balance is. This is a balancing asana. And then lowering that hand again. Okay. We're going to sweep our hands a little bit to the back, and then by bending the knees, we're coming up into chair pose. Taking the hands in Namaste mudra, we're going to twist to the left. Coming up again, chair pose. And with the same mudra, we twist to the right. Sweeping the hands up all the way. Garudasana. Okay, time to really check in with our balancing skills of today. Every day is different, so if it doesn't really go well one day, maybe you can try the next day, maybe it will be completely different. So we start in Tadasana, mountain pose. You have your feet slightly separated, maybe hip width apart, and you're going to press into all 4 corners of the feet. So you can lift the toes up, separate the toes mid-air, pressing them down. The same as the other side. And then we're just going to swing and sway a little bit, finding our perfect stance. You can close your eyes doing this. With closed eyes, it's usually easier to find that balance. And then open your eyes. Try to engage your calf muscles, the quadriceps, and then of course your core muscles. So you're going to pull in the belly button to the spine and up. So that's going to kind of enhance your natural core set. We're going to lift the shoulders, bring them to the front, up, back and down. Let's do this 3 times. And here we go. So now we found our perfect Tadasana, mountain pose. We're perfectly balanced. We're going to shift our weight to the left foot. Slowly, finding that perfect moment to lift the right knee up. Keep breathing. And you don't do anything else. Just keep lifting the knee a little bit higher. And bringing it down. So the same on the right side. So shift the weight to the right, find momentum. And here we go. And you will notice one side is so much easier than the other side. So what you want to do is fixate your gaze on a point in front of you, preferably non-moving point. And we bring the knee down. Okay. So what most yogis do for a tree pose is they kind of just grab their ankle and bring their foot in position. Let's try it without using our hands. Okay, let's try full tree pose now. What we usually do in yoga is we just go with our hand and we grab our foot and we place it in position. Okay, so what we want to do today is try that without using our hands. And you see it's not that easy. Okay, let's give it a try. We go again, start on the left foot. And back. And we immediately shift to the other side. And back. Okay, now we've got our own tree pose. Let's move on to the next asana. It's probably the most challenging one of this practice. It's called Garudasana. It's named after this mythical bird. And I'm just going to show with my students how it works. So we're going to shift our weight to the left leg, bending through the left knee, bringing the right thigh over the left thigh, hooking that to the toes behind the calf. And then because you have right over left, we're going to do the opposite to the arms. So the left arm is going to go over the right arm. Thumbs are facing your face. Good. And we're going to go a little bit deeper into Garudasana. All the while, bring up the elbows. And slowly come out of the pose. So what's the thing with the arms? Of course, it's a beautiful posture to look at, but it also stretches your shoulders, and that's the most important. You feel a nice stretch. So even if you cannot make the full posture with your arms and you're somewhere here, it doesn't matter as long as you feel that beautiful stretch on the shoulder blades. Okay, let's go for the other side. We'll do it all together. So we're going to move in the opposite way. Trying to lift the elbows as high as you can and slowly come out of the pose, shaking out the legs. Alright, let's bring the legs a little bit wider. We're going to lift the arms up, looking up at our thumbs, left hand down on the hip and move over to one side. Squaring the hips, don't move anything there, it's just a nice side stretch here. Looking up, exhaling to the other side. And one more time to each side. Always exhaling when you go down. Keep breathing here, and when you come up, you inhale. Let's loosen up the spine here. And then it's time to come back down on the mat. Alright, let's go for the last asana before shavasana, and it's called banana asana. A very nice one. We're going to stretch out all the way with our hands cupping our head, interlocking the fingers. And we're going to slowly move our torso to the right, making an angle, keeping the hips where they are. Shoulder blades stay on the floor, as do the hips, and then we're going to do the same with the legs, moving them to the right as far as you can. And now you will see why it's called banana asana. You take the shape of a banana. You can top it off by bringing the left ankle over the right ankle. And we're going to be here for 5 deep breaths. Feeling a beautiful stretch on the left side of our body, the whole torso and the hip area. First we're going to unhook our left ankle and then walk the upper body back, little baby steps, back to center, followed by the legs, back to neutral. And immediately we're going to go to the other side, walking with baby steps our torso to the left until you find you cannot go any further, keeping your shoulder blades firmly pressed into the mat, walking the legs to the left, and then topping it off up by bringing the right ankle over the left ankle. And you can use your respiration, your exhalation to be precise, to breathe into that stretch, the stretch that you feel on the right side of your torso. Take a few deep breaths here. And then we unhook the feet, walking the upper body back to center. And the legs. And then we're going to give ourselves one final beautiful stretch here. Bringing the arms over the head, turning the palms inside out, stretching out, extending the toes. And then hugging in the knees one last time. Make some circles going clockwise. And anti-clockwise, of course. And then it's time to go into shavasana. Dress up warmly for final relaxation. And while my students are going into shavasana, covering up, I would like to thank you once again for joining with me in my practice here. And I wish you all a very good evening, and stay happy, stay healthy, and stay at home. Namaste.